we used to play Space Monkey in his class too.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I know. You can't. You shouldn't have never done it.
What is that?
Space Monkey. This is dumb. I shouldn't say it because now it's going to become like a TikTok trend and everyone's going to do it. But Space Monkey was just a game where you'd pass out your friends, dude. So you would just
yeah, we did that shit in middle school too.
You just hold your breath real long and then they would press on your chest, then you'd fucking pass out.
Yeah, we did the same shit. Yeah,
I
like
don't know
you
what
like breathe into your shirt really heavily and then you'd stand up hella quick and then you'd shut.
What did you guys call it?
We called it.
I don't know. We just called it.
We didn't call it.
So they passed out.
Like,
you guys want to pass each other out and then jack each other off before the other one wakes up?
I think we just called it like skates.
We called everything skates back then. Shit was different times.
It was different. It was way different, man.
Where's he at?
Skates. Yeah, dude. Fuck, man. I wish I could remember what else I was gonna say about that teacher. Oh, he was just that's what I was gonna say. If I was a teacher, I would have done exactly what he did. He would just make you like watch like historical videos and take notes, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And you'd always get good grades in this class because it was like he wasn't teaching you or anything. He just wanted to be like a football coach. So
Yeah.
I'm a football coach, but
that's so funny. We literally had a history teacher that was our high school football coach.
Nice.
Yeah,
dude. I think that's like just classic, dude.
Yeah.
Most history teachers are some sort of coaches. He would get all his
like
plays
a
from
teacher.
Yeah. He would get all of his plays from Madden.
Yeah, that's classic.
Isn't that fucking wild? Like, don't just use Madden plays.
I don't know.
They
I mean,
have
if
a
they
good, like, they never would try to adapt their team. Like, say they have someone that can run a shitty quarterback.
they're like, no way, dude.
Like we're just gonna keep doing this.
You're gonna be running the same plays that Mike Vick was running.
Yeah.
In O's.
Oh, we don't have an offensive line. Well, let's see. I mean, they never did. That's
our biggest kid was like 160 pounds.
No. He was at least
170. They didn't make him as obese as they do now, you know?
They don't make it the same way they used to.
No, they definitely was pretty
Dumb
obese,
thick?
probably.
Yeah.
Our school wasn't because we didn't have enough people to have like a lot of obese people.
It was sad. We got one obese kid and they had to change our whole entire like they didn't make us sit in desks anymore. We always all sat in tables. And it was because we had one like obese kid that came to school.
Hello, obese kid.
Yeah. Well, we only had like fucking 40 kids in class and that was like a big class.
Yeah. Mine was only a little bit bigger too.
Yeah.
Like keeping like 40 kids in classes in like the entire like grade.
Yeah.
That is fucking.
Yeah.
Because I would have like 35 seats each classroom.
Yeah.
I once had a class with only 4 people in it.
Oh yeah, because you could take like
crazy.
a Spanish.
I took
2
Spanish
or 3
3
or something. And again, you don't do that. Teacher was cool because she would just
she was so
weird stories. She told us, dude, she had the story that her grandma was the oldest woman ever.
She was a liar.
She lived to be 120, and that they just didn't have it on record because it was in Mexico.
Yeah.
So they were like, we didn't have it on record, and she's like, and I actually like had to get LASIK surgery because I almost went blind from I was just staring at the sun too much. So it burnt a big hole in my eye. She's like, so I had to get LASIK.
She was staring at the sun.
Yeah. And dude,
she had to have something wrong.
Wouldn't you like understand like after one time, like wouldn't your brain like make a note like, oh, we shouldn't do that?
Yeah.
I feel like one time is enough to do that.
It's like, dude, look at you guys see how pretty the sun looked today? I stared at it for 8 hours.
It has the most beautiful bright yellow white glare in my eye.
Towards it, and it was weird. I got this like really dark.
It's like you have to take your sunglasses off, man.
Dude, and the same teacher, my buddy Justin, like, you know, she was really cool until she wasn't. Like, you could get joking around with her, and then after, out of nowhere, she'd switch and be like,
I have a story about this too.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta tell a story. Or she would just be like, you guys can't joke like that. But there was one time where she was talking about, I was a good kid. I only had like one boyfriend when I was a little kid, and my parents were so mad about it. And my friend Justin goes, oh, slut. And yeah, just like totally crossed the line.
Wow.
And then she cried for 45 minutes, like the rest of the class.
I can't believe he said
dude,
it.
he meant it like not even, I mean, obviously it was a good joke, like you can't make that. Right. But he meant it just in a total lighthearted, like, oh, she's my friend. He's like, oh, you only dated one guy. Like
being too friendly.
He was just being like,
jokey.
Yeah, it was just a bad joke,
That's a really tough word.
Yeah. And that was like
Because-
2012 or something. So it's like, it wasn't even as bad then. It's way worse now.
Some fucking,
But, you know, hearing that from like a fucking 16-year-old kid when you're like a 40-year-old
Bro.
woman,
I know,
probably
it's
ruined
like,
her fucking
bro,
day.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
was
fuck
sad.
you.
I'm-
She's a nice lady.
Okay, I have 2 stories about her being like cool and uncool.
Sure.
So she,
I only
so
want to hear one.
back from, well,
pick one.
the other story is just me being like a little douchebag, like 15-year-old. But the first one, well, so there was a person in one of the Spanish classes, and back in like our school, we're from, you know, good old Western world,
Podunk.
and
Podunk,
people,
Wyoming.
those kids would like to chew, and they would take a dip during class sometimes.
They'd moss it up.
And one of the times that they took the little dip nation tour, she would catch people every now and then.
She'd be
and
on the
then-
lookout because she caught a
I
kid
have
in
a
my
story.
class.
Yeah.
She would be on the lookout. She's like, she catches this guy and she's like, "Hey, what's in your mouth?" He's like, "Nothing." She's like, "I know what it
chewing
is." She's like, I know what it is." He's like, "Whoa." And she's like, "You can either spit it out, and I'm gonna go tell the principal on you." Like,
Ma'am,
like,
spitters
give
or
you-
quitters?
Yeah, spitters or quitters, ma'am. Phil Clinton.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking swallow it because I don't want to be in trouble. He swallows it, and then she still fucking reports it.
Yeah. That's
And I was
fucking a
like,
harsh
what a
lesson.
fucking,
dude.
yeah, double fucking. So
She caught a kid, in my class, and he had a chew in his back pocket. And she said, "What's in your back pocket?" And he was like, "Nothing." But his face went beet red. And she's like, she's like, "What is it?" She's like, "Take that out of your pocket." And she's like, I won't tell anyone if you take it out of your pocket." And then he took it out of his pocket, and she goes, "Well, I have to tell the principal, or I could,
Fired.
risk like losing my job." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck you,
you.
you narc."
She is a narc. She was never as cool as she seemed. So the other story was.
So if you're watching this, Mrs.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to blur it out.
No, she was cool sometimes. She sucked most of the time because she was just like kind of like double back on her
But
type of thing.
if you got her talking about herself, dude,
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't have
I
to
had-
do any homework.
We had teachers like that where like I did that, like that was like my specialty, like getting a fucking like teacher like
Getting
talking about some
derailed.
stupid ass shit.
The
It's
creepy
something
part is that we
still
would-
give you homework.
Dude, the way we would do it, like as teenagers, we would flirt with our girl teachers, and they were all like 40-year-old like gross girls, but they were
fucking
eating that shit
English
up. So
teacher.
then they would like welcome it. They loved us. It was total grooming. Total grooming to me.
Yeah, but okay. The other story, last story with this teacher, and we'll never have to talk about her again.
Yeah.
I had a study hall, and a bunch of us were like in the same Spanish class. So in the study hall, like we're doing our homework, blah blah blah. I get bored in the study hall because I don't feel like doing homework anymore. And
So I started jacking off.
but someone else next to me is, and they happen to be a very devout Mormon, and they would never draw what I drew in a notebook. I drew a dick,
Yeah.
a heart, and then I drew a swastika.
Oh.
That one, final one, probably being the most important. And they didn't notice it. Like they finished their homework, they was hanging out, and they closed their notebook and go back. And like the next day, we're in Spanish class, or like a couple of days later. And I don't think we had the same Spanish class, but we're in the same level. So I
Yeah.
still had like the same shit. Where's
Oh,
the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
torch? Oh, sorry. But I get the fucking like I hear that they're like lecturing people in the classes about like something going on. It's like,
No.
we have to.
Did you know
fucking-
that right away? Like
I was
stomach.
like, no, I
you're
didn't.
like,
I didn't because I've forgotten about it already.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, because it was like a couple days later when she got like the homework for that day like graded, and she's like, I already talked to the person's notebook. I know it wasn't them because they don't do that kind of thing. And then she's like, you guys are gonna have to write lines unless someone admits to this.
oh,
And like we don't like I don't care.
like fucking Bart.
She's like, you can come after class and tell me. It doesn't have to be in front of everyone. And I was like sitting there like, huh. But then she mentioned like kind of what was drawn. Like she didn't specify.
She's like, I need
she's like-
everyone in this classroom to draw a swastika right
and a
now.
dick. Draw the most detailed dick you can.
Draw a dick and a swastika and some bad words. I'm gonna figure out which one he fucking
And I never admitted to it.
Oh, good. So anyway, if
I
you're
was like, she
listening
didn't
to
know. She
this,
called her bluff because she said she knew who it was.
oh, that's smart.
She's like, I already know who it is.
Way to stand your
but
fucking
she's like,
ground.
I needed them to admit it.
Dude, I was in math
I
class.
just didn't do it.
I was in math class and I drew a dick, and it was a really big, veiny motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I also
As
did
they
it was
are.
a caricature.
It's true.
Caricature.
It's true.
So I made it as my teacher, and my teacher had like a big snaggle tooth. So I made this dick have this big snaggle tooth. He was a math teacher, and it was like right after I got done doing a test, and we had a substitute, and he was just like, me and my buddy my buddies Luke and Ryan, like we were just fucking laughing like while I was drawing this, and he was like getting nosy. The teacher was, and he starts walking around, and he sees me drawing this big dick, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he grabs the paper, and I clinch onto it, and he rips it out of my hand. So I ripped it perfectly to where you couldn't tell it was a dick, but it just looked like a drawing that was like, haha, do your homework. And then he took it up to the principal, but you could still tell, like it looked like a phallic. It was a phallic object. You know?
I'm sure they do, yeah.
So then I go up, and I'm sure the teacher was like, it was a dick. Joe was in the classroom drawing dicks. I don't know what's going on with him. So then like
He's growing. He's a teenage boy.
my principal like was like, Joe, what were you doing? And I was like, I blamed it on the movie Superbad again. I was like, oh, well, there's a movie called Superbad, and they draw dicks, and it was funny, so I drew a dick. And then my principal was like, well, you're going to have to pay for that. So I had to suck him off, and I got a little bit of detention. But I was
Yeah, but that's not bad. Like,
How
considering.
How big do you think Joe is?
Let's find out.
Am I the only...
That's not bad.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's not bad.
Oh, I'm the only one that wants to know how big Pete is.
That's one of my favorites.
What was the story you were going to say? Did someone get caught with a fucking chewing tobacco or something?
Well, something. These fucking kids were like drinking beer in my woodshop class.
I got
But
some
like,
Keystone.
it was out of a Gatorade bottle. So
Oh, I think I've
fucking-
actually heard that.
Smart.
Yeah, I've definitely told you.
Oh,
but
I was story like
they
that
like
too, actually.
got caught, and it was like literally like a grape Gatorade, and our fucking teacher's like, it smells like beer. This looks
Did they
like beer.
mix it? Grape?
No,
Gatorade
it was
was-
just
oh.
purely like beer in a
You can see-
Gatorade.
No.
And then, like,
Mr.
he
Sullivan,
fucking-
it's piss.
And then he fucking one of them decided, even though there was already like photos of them like drinking it in the classroom because we just thought it was so fucking fun. Just like these weird ass kids, drinking a beer out of a Gatorade bottle.
That's so fucking
And so they
funny.
fucking like one of them goes back and like runs to the bathroom and chugs it, and it comes back like tipsy, and
Just
he
drunk
even-
as fuck?
Kinda like he can like smell it on his breath. He's like, Mitchell, like I know you drank a beer. He's like, no. Can't prove it. And he's like, we could like do like a breathalyzer. He's like, no, you can't. It was like,
Did they make him do a breathalyzer? Or did he fess up?
I don't fucking know. He went to like the office and then he
He never came back? They killed him?
No, I think they actually like murked him. Yeah. He
Sir,
drank alcohol in
you're
woodshop.
underage. We're gonna have to kill you. The woodshop teacher's like torturing him, trying to get him to get like answers out. What kind of beer was it? I wasn't drinking beer. He takes like a saw blade and like gets it closer to his
Yeah,
nose.
puts his, like cuts a finger off and just like lies.
That's how. And that's why
That's
every
happened
woods
now.
teacher's missing a fucking finger. That happened to them when they were in school.
Oh, my story.
We'd always just like fuck with him. Like he never really like got euphemisms. Like we were never like mean, but I was just such a dickhead in high school. Like, damn, Blank, you go with the wood, man. And then he's like, thank you. I've been like working with wood for like, and it was just
That
like
he
so-
gets home and tells his wife, he's like, the kids were really nice today.
Bro,
Really
that's the thing is like
nice.
everyone loved him, but it's like we would like
I think I'm really good with
lightheartedly
it. I
like
think I'm really
kind of
good
fuck.
with
Dude, I remember one time fucking like he's like now like year one like freshmen aren't allowed to use the belt sander typically, but like if you sign this contract and promise like not to like we're making like a cutting board, he's like if you like promise to like sign this contract like because it's like a really fucking expensive machine.
Yeah.
Like, just don't break it and I'll let you use it.
Oh, shit.
And my fucking friend Nikita, the first time that he used it, like probably within 5 seconds, fucking lets go of his cutting board and the belt fucking like snaps off and his cutting board flies into the wall at like, bro, it looked like 100 miles an hour. And it fucking like it left a little like fucking dent. I laughed so fucking hard. I loved being in wood shop. Another one of my fucking friends.
I hated the teachers.
Oh, ours was cool.
So me and Brand were in like fucking. I was in band. I did band.
I was
fucking saxophone.
You guys want to hear a story about how shitty that teacher is?
Yeah.
So, in high school, I wanted to go to a party with my friends, and back there you have to drive everywhere to find anything. So we're driving out of town and go to a party. When we can't find the party, because it's out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of nowhere. So we finally find these people like, yeah, we're going to the party. Just follow us. We're driving behind them, and we fucking like they gave us a 6-pack, and.
Sweet.
I wasn't drinking it because I was driving, but everyone else was drinking it. And we ended up wrecking because we were falling too fast, and I like overcorrect, and we wrecked the car and never find the party. Have to spend the rest of the night figuring that out.
So we made a party right there.
Yeah, so we made our own party with it. Please.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The car,
Did I just get
the car
bombs?
fucking exploded, and then you made a bonfire.
Yes. But no, sorry.
Yeah,
The teacher, like, we come back to school and they give us like a fucking whole, like we have like a PSA because a bunch of people were in wrecks that year from our school.
Yeah.
And then like a couple days after that, we were in the wreck. And then our teacher like makes like a comment suggesting that we had been drinking or texting and driving or something like that.
Oh my god, that's
he
fucking
makes
horrible.
he makes that comment to one of us that was in the wreck, and
What did you say?
I wasn't there. He was just like, he was
I
like,
would've been,
he's like,
literally
don't be
been
a,
like, bro,
he's like,
fuck
don't be
you.
a dick or something like that to the teacher, and that's all it was said. Like, the teacher didn't like report him or anything.
Oh,
You can't.
That's so
Yeah.
sad.
He's like, are you fucking serious? Like after that, talking to me, and I was like, dude, like,
Ew, what a fucking douche. That's horrible.
yeah. And so then we had like a parking system in our. We had a
Fucking
parking.
Peaches.
Yeah, the Peaches was fucking screaming.
It's just wailing.
Where like you had to sign up for parking spots because they built a new parking lot and didn't have enough spots for everyone to park in. So their solution was you sign up for a raffle to get parking spots, and like there's also a lottery one where you get you pay for like the first couple spots.
First row.
Which one? It's like it's a 20-foot difference.
I know.
It's just a fundraiser.
But it's also like -30 sometimes.
Yeah, it's awful. But like like my parking pass had been in a car that I just totaled, so I didn't have it anymore. And my mom was nice enough to let me drive her Suburban to school. And so I drove that and I parked there, and
Get
We-
that little fair, dude, bro.
I know it's just hard because I have to click it every time if I want that thing.
What do you mean? We're playing this on our 3DS.
I know I have to click the touchscreen.
Right.
But so eventually
Let's hear a word from Peaches.
he writes me a ticket because I didn't have the parking pass in that car, and he knew what car we drove because we went to church with him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you fucking serious? Like, don't be such an
That
insensitive
dude's
little dickhead. Like,
douche.
that accident could have been so much worse. And like, if something had happened and he was doing that shit, like,
Yeah, like just like
that's like really fucking inappropriate,
And it's just
especially
like-
for a teacher.
Well, like after someone gets in like a wreck like that, it's scary no matter what. So it's like, dude, what place do you think you are to like fucking give a kid like this make believe ticket? Like, are you trying to teach him some weird ass
Yeah, it's
lesson? Like, fuck out of here, you dumb bitch. I hate that guy. I'm so glad we'll never have to see him again.
yeah, dude, that guy fucking he sucked.
I don't like dislike too many people, but that guy's a fucking turd. And if
Yeah.
I ever had to talk to him, I straight up would. I don't think I could talk to him. If he asked me how like I'm doing, I'd be like, dude,
I'd be-
eat my fucking nuts.
And like, fuck you, dude.
I don't
And then
know.
you give him a tender, loving kiss.
But dude, that's like the thing in those tiny towns,
This
you
song
could
just drama
give your
like that.
teachers tender, loving kisses, but you'd always get caught.
TLK.
But no, like in those small towns, like everyone's business, they make it seem like they want your business to be their business, and just
Yeah.
like fuck out of here. That's why it's nice being in an area where you like don't see the same people every fucking day.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Small towns are fucking awesome because everybody's racist.
King
and
Dong.
like-minded.
More like King Dong.
Oh!
Wow! It's a little 1-2 punch right there.
That is a 1-2 punch. This boss is fucking easy as getting me off, man.
That's true.
I say maybe.
One time we were like getting like back to school shopping and Grant tried on a pair of jeans
Jinko.
and
Yeah, some Jingo jeans.
just fucking jizz all the time.
Number 9
Yeah, but
Jingo jeans.
Well, the reason I jizzed was because the fucking counter clerk person followed me. But it was cool because I made the first move just to make sure they knew it was alright.
You can.
Yeah, otherwise they'd take
That
it
it?
wrong. Yeah.
That's fucking quick.
Jump
dude.
attack, stroke this guy. Dude.
Be straight stroking them dry,
Yo,
dude.
I like to stroke
Steamroller.
steamroller. Dude, I watched a video about Nick Gas yesterday.
Oh,
Or actually about Legend of the Hidden Temple.
I use that. Legends, yeah, dude, Legends of the Hidden Temple was one
You
of
know,
the
might
best
not want it in
shows.
case I am sick.
Oh, that's so true. I don't want to get sick.
You know?
Charges. Yeah, dude, I
Oh, you can find it actually. I have a charger.